All right, let's get right into it today. We're taking a deep dive into ITIL 4.
Sounds good.
We'll be looking at the ITIL Foundation 4 edition
Okay.
from Excelos.
Yeah.
And, you're probably thinking about how to modernize your business services and boost customer satisfaction. And, well, ITIL 4 can help with that.
He could be really helpful.
We're going to be using the fictional company Axle Car Hire as a case study.
Oh, cool.
Their journey with ITIL 4 will really help to illustrate these concepts.
Definitely.
By the end of this deep dive, you'll have a good understanding of ITIL 4's core ideas and how they can be applied, even outside of IT.
Absolutely. It has surprisingly wide applications.
Okay, so to kick things off, what exactly ITIL 4? I know it's a framework.
Right.
But what does that actually mean for someone who wants to use it?
That's a great question. A lot of people think it's just a buzzword, but it's really not. ITIL 4 is a framework for IT service management, or ITSM for short.
Okay.
And it's all about helping organizations create value through IT-enabled services.
So it's about aligning technology with business goals.
Yes.
To make everyone's lives easier.
Exactly. And a lot of people think that ITIL 4 is just for IT departments.
Right.
It's a big misconception. It's really about understanding how services create value no matter what industry you're in.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, these days, every service relies on technology in some way.
Exactly. Like even something as simple as online shopping.
Right.
There's a lot of IP happening in the background to make that experience seamless.
Yeah.
And as we become even more digital, understanding ITSM as laid out in ITIL 4.
Right.
It's going to be crucial for everyone, not just tech specialists.
All right, so ITIL 4 helps us think about services differently, but how does that play out in real life? I'm interested in Axle Car Hire and how they're using ITIL 4 to improve their services and make customers happier.
Yeah, so Axle Car Hire is a global rental company.
Okay.
And they're trying to modernize and boost customer satisfaction.
Right.
And their new CIO,
Henry,
he is spearheading this whole transformation.
I remember him from the book. He was really into that.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be easier to just focus on good cars and fair prices? Why do they need ITIL 4 for that?
It's not just about the cars anymore. Axle needs to consider the whole customer experience.
Oh, okay.
And each customer values different things, too.
Oh, okay.
The book talks about Ichika, who's a tech-savvy student who wants flexibility.
Right.
They talk about Farouk, a busy executive who needs reliability.
Okay.
And Amelia, a sponsor focused on cost-effectiveness.
So Axle can't take like a one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly. And that's where ITIL 4 comes in.
Okay.
It helps them tailor their services to those different needs.
That makes sense. This kind of brings us to another key concept. The idea of service itself.
Yeah.
What does that really mean? Seems like it's more than just renting a car.
In ITIL 4, a service is all about co-creating value with your customers.
Okay.
It's not just what you provide, but how you provide it and the outcome it helps your customer achieve. So for Axle, it's not just about handing over the car keys. It's about the whole travel experience.
You got it. And ITIL 4 reminds us that value is subjective.
Right.
So Ichika might value freedom to explore, while Farouk values efficiency and convenience.
And Amelia might care about data and reports showing how Axle saves her company money.
Exactly. It's really important to understand those nuances.
Yeah.
And ITIL 4 really pushes us to go beyond just delivering a product and to think about the real outcomes that matter to our customers.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all comes together. We've got services, value creation, a focus on understanding different customer needs.
Yeah.
It sounds like ITIL 4 is helping Axle Car Hire think about their business in a whole new way.
It is. And ITIL 4 actually lays out a holistic framework to manage all of this.
Okay.
It outlines 4 dimensions that are important to consider.
4 dimensions?
Yeah. Organizations and people.
Okay.
Information and technology, partners and suppliers. And value streams and processes.
So it's not just about the technology, it's about the people using it.
Yeah.
The partnerships and all the processes that connect everything.
That's right. Think of them as interconnected gears in a machine.
Okay.
If one gear is off, the whole thing can break down.
So Axle has to consider their employees, their tech, their partners, and their processes all working together to create a smooth and valuable experience for their customers.
Exactly. It's a way more integrated way of thinking about service management.
Okay, so we've got these 4 dimensions that have to work together.
Right.
But how do you actually make sure that happens?
That's where the 7 guiding principles of ITIL 4 come in. Think of them as guiding lights.
7 guiding principles.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I'm ready. Give them to me.
Okay, well, instead of just listing them all out, why don't we focus on a couple that are really relevant for Axle car hire?
Okay, it's good.
Let's look at start where you are and progress iteratively with feedback. These are super practical.
Yeah.
Especially for organizations doing a transformation.
Those sound great. I can definitely see how those would be important for Axle car hire.
Yeah.
What do they look like in action?
Well, start where you are means you don't have to start from scratch. You assess your current state.
Right.
Identify what's working.
Okay.
And build from there.
So Axle car hire wouldn't throw out their entire system.
Right.
They'd take stock of what they're doing well and improve on that.
Exactly. Like their booking app.
Yeah.
It might be outdated, but it has valuable features and data. They could just make updates instead of building something new.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
And that's where progress iteratively with feedback comes in. You make small changes.
Okay.
Get feedback along the way.
Got it.
And adjust your approach based on that feedback.
So instead of overhauling everything, Axle could just improve one thing at a time.
Right.
Like their online booking process.
Exactly.
And then see what's working and what needs to be adjusted.
Exactly. You create a cycle of continuous learning and improvement.
Wow, I'm seeing how powerful these principles can be. And they're not just abstract ideas.
Right.
They give you real guidance for taking action. But how does Axle know what to prioritize?
Well, that's where the service value chain comes in. It's a core concept in ITIL V4.
Okay.
It's a flexible model for visualizing how all the activities in an organization work together to co-create value.
I want to learn more about that. Can you give us a sneak peek before we move on to the next part?
The service value chain identifies key activities like planning,
Okay.
improving,
Yeah.
engaging with customers,
Okay.
designing and transitioning services,
Got it.
obtaining or building resources,
Right.
and delivering and supporting services.
Okay, so lots of moving parts.
Yeah, and these activities can be combined in different ways
Oh, cool.
to create value streams for different needs.
So it's not like a rigid step-by-step process.
Exactly. It's about understanding how these activities work together to create value.
I'm really eager to learn more about that. But I think we should pause here for now and let our listener process all this great information. We'll be back soon to dive deeper into the service value chain and how it all works in real-world scenarios. Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking about the heart of ITIL V4,
Right.
the service value chain.
It ties everything together.
Yeah, all those different activities working together to create value.
Yeah.
Planning, improving, engaging with customers, all those building blocks. You mentioned they can be combined to create value streams. What does that mean?
Think of it like a recipe.
Okay.
You have different ingredients, those activities we talked about.
Yeah.
And you combine them in different ways to create different dishes.
Okay.
Or in this case, value streams.
Value streams. So each one is a sequence of actions
Right.
that contributes to creating value for a customer.
That
So it's
again-
not just a one-size-fits-all process.
Not at all. It depends on the specific needs of each customer.
No. Okay. Let's use an example. How would Axle car hire use the service value chain to resolve a customer issue, like a flat tire?
Okay, great example. Let's say Ichig, our tech-savvy student,
Yeah.
gets a flat tire.
Right.
She uses the Axle car hire app to report the problem,
Right.
and that triggers a specific value stream, resolving an incident.
So the app is part of Axle's engage activity. It's how they interact with each other.
You got it. The app gathers all the important information like location, car type, anything specific she needs.
Okay.
And that kicks off the deliver and support activity.
Gotcha.
Axle might use an automated system to dispatch roadside assistance,
Okay.
which brings in the partners and suppliers dimension.
It's all connected.
It is. And we can't forget about plan and improve.
Yeah, those are important.
Axle would have processes in place for these situations.
Right.
That's the plan activity.
Yeah.
And once Ichiga's tire is fixed, they can see how to improve their response or communication.
So even a flat tire can be an opportunity for Axle to learn and make things better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why the service value chain is so powerful. It's not a static model. It's dynamic. It's for continuous improvement.
This reminds me of what we said about ITIL V's emphasis on continual improvement.
Definitely a connection there.
Yeah.
The service value chain is designed with that in mind.
It's all about optimizing those activities to create more value.
Exactly.
And remember that 7-step continual improvement model we talked about?
Yes.
Define the vision, assess the current state, all those steps. It felt really applicable to everything, not just IT.
Absolutely. And you know what? Let's bring that model to life with an example from Axle Car Hire.
Okay, sounds good.
Remember Radhika, their head of facilities?
Oh, yeah. She wanted to get rid of all those plastic cups.
Right. Let's walk through how she could use that 7-step model. Step 1, her vision is to make Axle Car Hire more eco-friendly.
Makes sense.
Step 2, assess the current state.
All right.
They use a ton of disposable plastic cups.
Yeah, she had a problem to solve for sure. What's next?
Step 3, define the target state. Let's say her goal is to reduce plastic cup use by 50% in a year.
Ambitious.
Then step 4, she makes a plan. Switch to biodegradable cups, maybe give employees reusable mugs, launch an awareness campaign.
Good ideas.
Step 5, put that plan into action. She orders the new cups, hands out mugs, starts the campaign. Then step 6, measure the impact.
Right, see if it's working.
Exactly. Did plastic cup use go down? Are people using the mugs?
Okay.
She gathers data to see what's working and what's not.
So it's not just about making a change, it's about tracking it too.
Right. And finally, step 7, sustain the improvement.
Make it stick.
Exactly. She might celebrate milestones, recognize employees who are helping, adjust your plan based on the data.
I like it. This model could be used for so many things: reducing waste, improving customer satisfaction, making processes better.
You got it. And what's cool is that ITIL V4 recognizes that many challenges organizations face today stem from how they manage their services.
Okay, interesting.
Whether it's a bad online booking system or inefficient process, these problems can be solved with ITIL V4 principles.
So we've got the service value chain and the continual improvement model. These are great tools, but they seem kind of abstract. What about those specific practices that ITIL V4 talks about, like architecture management and risk management?
Those practices are what put ITIL V4 into action.
Okay.
Let's look at a few so you can see how it works.
All right. Let's start with architecture management.
Okay.
It sounds technical. Why is it important?
It's really foundational. Remember those 4 dimensions of service management we talked about?
Organizations, information and technology, partners, and value streams and processes.
You got it. Architecture management is about understanding how all of those connect.
So like a map of how everything works together.
Exactly. You got to understand those relationships between systems, technologies, processes, and people.
Okay.
And make sure it all supports the organization's services.
That sounds complicated, especially now when businesses rely on so many different systems.
It can be, but a good architecture is a game changer. It helps you find redundancies, streamline things, make better decisions about tech.
Wow, yeah, I can see how valuable that could be. What about the other practices? What should we talk about next?
Let's look at continual improvement.
Oh yeah, a big one.
Yeah, it's a cornerstone of ITIL V4. Remember that 7-step model?
Define the vision, assess the current state, and all that. We just used it with Radhika.
Right. And the continual improvement practice is what helps make that a core part of how the organization works.
So it's about making that cycle of planning, acting, measuring, and improving a habit.
Exactly. Creating a culture of learning, experimenting, and using data to make decisions.
Continual improvement. I love it. What about the other practices we mentioned? We didn't really get into measurement and reporting.
That's a crucial one.
Yeah.
Remember, you can't improve what you don't measure.
Right.
Measurement and reporting is about defining metrics,
Okay.
collecting data, and using that data to get insights into how well a service is performing.
So it's about tracking the right things and making better choices based on that data.
Exactly.
Okay. Makes sense. So we've talked about architecture management, continual improvement, and measurement and reporting. Anything else we should touch on before we move on?
Let's talk about organizational change management.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. It's super important for making sure any change goes smoothly.
Yeah, change can be hard. People don't always like new things,
That's true.
even when they're good changes.
And that's where organizational change management comes in.
Okay.
It's all about the human side of change, communicating clearly, addressing concerns, and supporting everyone during the transition.
So it's not just about telling people what to do.
Right,
It's
sure.
about getting them involved in the change.
Exactly.
And helping them adapt.
Exactly. Successful changes involve people.
Right.
And this practice gives organizations the tools to help their employees through those changes.
I see how these practices all fit together. We've got the big picture view with architecture management. We've got a process for continuous improvement,
Right.
a way to measure progress,
Yeah.
and a plan for managing change. But there's more to ITIL 4, right?
Oh, there's a lot more.
Okay.
We just scratched the surface. ITIL 4 has practices for all sorts of things: risk management, supplier management, knowledge management,
Wow.
even information security management.
It's really comprehensive.
It is. And what's really cool is that these practices are all connected. They work together to create this really holistic approach to service management.
Okay, I think this is a good place to pause for a moment and let everything sink in.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot.
Definitely.
And there's still more to explore.
Welcome back to our ITIL 4 deep dive. We've been exploring the service value chain, the continual improvement model, and some key practices like architecture management and organizational change management. But before we wrap up, I'm curious about how ITIL 4 tackles those challenges in the modern business world.
Things like cloud computing, digital transformation, and always having to create those amazing customer experiences.
That's a great point. The business world is changing so fast.
Yeah.
And ITIL 4 is made to be flexible, and relevant to all that change.
It's not stuck in the past?
Not at all. ITIL 4 embraces the digital age.
Good.
Like, for example, cloud computing.
Yeah.
It's revolutionized how companies manage their IT.
Right.
And ITIL 4 gives guidance on managing services in this new environment.
That makes sense. Cloud services are all about flexibility and agility.
Exactly.
And it seems like ITIL 4 aligns with those principles.
ITIL 4 encourages a more agile and customer-centric approach.
Okay.
Which is super important for success in the cloud.
And what about this whole customer experience thing? It seems like every company's trying to be the best at that.
It's true. Customer experience has become so important, to stand out in the market.
Right.
And ITIL 4 knows that.
Okay.
It really highlights the importance of understanding customer needs.
Right.
Getting their feedback.
Yeah.
And always improving services to meet those needs.
So it's not just about offering a service that works, it's about making it a good experience.
Exactly. ITIL 4 helps organizations move from just providing a service to really understanding and meeting customer needs.
Okay, so ITIL 4 is cloud-friendly and customer-focused.
Yeah.
What about how complex IT environments are getting? All these systems and technologies make things harder to manage.
You're right. Complexity is a big challenge.
Yeah.
But that's where ITIL 4's holistic approach comes in.
Okay.
It encourages you to think of your services as interconnected systems.
Right.
And to manage them that way.
So break down those silos and look at the big picture.
Exactly. ITIL 4 gives you the framework to handle the complexities of today's IT.
This reminds me of Axel Car Hire, our case study for this deep dive. How are they doing with ITIL 4?
They're doing great. Henri, their CIO, has really pushed those ITIL 4 principles.
That's awesome. What about those different customers? Ichika, Farouk, and Amelia, are they happy with these changes?
Absolutely. Ichika loves the new app. It makes renting so easy.
Nice.
Farouk appreciates how reliable the service is now, and Amelia is happy about how transparent and cost-effective things are.
Sounds like ITIL 4 is a win for Axel Car Hire.
It is. It shows how ITIL 4 can transform services and create value for everyone involved.
Okay, as we wrap up our ITIL 4 deep dive, what are the key takeaways you want our listener to remember?
The biggest thing is that ITIL 4 is all about creating value through services.
Right.
It's a framework to help organizations understand their customers, improve processes, and use tech to create great experiences.
Okay.
And remember, it's not just for IT.
Right.
These ITIL 4 principles and practices can be used in any industry, any company, any service.
So whether you're a tech company, a store, a healthcare place, even a government agency, ITIL 4 can help you make your services better and create value for customers.
Exactly. And another thing, ITIL 4 is a journey of continual improvement.
Okay.
It's not about being perfect right away.
Right.
It's about making small changes that lead to big results over time.
Start where you are, make small steps, never stop learning and improving.
That's the spirit. And ITIL 4 can adapt to all the challenges we face today.
Yeah.
Cloud computing, digital transformation, customer experience. ITIL 4 has the tools to help navigate it all.
I think that's a perfect way to end this. ITIL 4 is powerful.
Yeah.
It can help any organization succeed in this digital world.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your knowledge.
My pleasure. I hope this deep dive has inspired our listener to explore ITIL 4.
Yeah.
And maybe even start their own journey with it.
It's all about making things better, one service at a time.
That's it.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into ITIL 4.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time, keep learning, keep improving, and keep making those services great.